Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Bookworm Reviews. I'm your host, the Bookworm. So this week, we are looking at Twilight. There are very few series that have created such a phenomenon, such backlash, and has affected pop culture with a ripple effect that we still feel to this very day. And we are looking at the book that started it all. So what did I feel about it? Sit back and relax as we dive into Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. May God have mercy on us all.
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, making all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view. No.
I never given much thought to how I would die, though I had reason enough in the last few months. But even if I had, I would not have imagined it like this. I stared without breathing across the long room, into the dark eyes of the hunter, and he looked pleasantly back at me. Surely it was a good way to die, in the place of someone else, someone I loved, noble even. That would account for something. I knew that if I never gone to Forks, I wouldn't be facing death now, but terrified as I was, I couldn't bring myself to regret the decision. When life offers you a dream so far beyond any of your expectations, it's not reasonable to grieve when it comes to an end. The hunter smiled in a friendly way as he sauntered forward to kill me. I'm sure most of you know the basic plot of Twilight down to a T. But because I like to keep to some form of a structure, we follow Bella Swan as she moves to a small town of Forks, Washington. She isn't happy about it and never thinks much about herself. But when she discovers a group of kids, the Cullens, she takes interest in the youngest boy, Edward. But there is something different about him and the Cullens. Could they be vampires? And is she falling in love with Edward? Twilight is bad. Bella is completely lifeless. Edward fits everything about an abusive partner. All the supporting characters are either one note or completely pointless. The plot meanders for 3/4 of the book till conflict literally walks in. And everything that happens is completely contrived about everything can be solved with the power of wolves. And it's one of my favorite books to read. Let me be clear. I know this is bad. I see the bad. Twilight is a bad romance novel. And I love it for being bad. I'm like a dog in a pile of garbage. I'm just rolling around because, oh my God, this is so glorious. It's completely awful, but I love it for its awfulness. Okay, so Bella is completely lifeless with very little character to her character. She is supposed to represent every high school girl ever by being self-judging of herself, never wishes to be with anyone, and falls in love with a guy because he's the bad boy. So every high school girl ever, right? But because of her lifelessness, I would add myself to make it more interesting. All of a sudden, I would get lost in the world because I would feel I was a part of it. The character is so bad that I have to add myself just to make it good. Edward is the bad boy. What else do you need to say? He's the bad boy. He's dangerous. And with Bella, she starts to make him feel human with the power of wolf. Oh, but oh my God, does Bella make it out to be the most amazing person ever, and how he will do anything and everything to protect her to the point that he comes off like a complete creeper. But to her, it's just cause he loves her. Aww. Because of just how uninteresting the two main leads are, it makes the entire supporting cast so much more interesting with backstories that really have no place in the plot, but even then makes them one note. From the first book alone, these are the words I can just use to describe them, and nothing else. Mentor, mentor's wife, the happy one, the bitchy one, the muscles, the non-muscles. All the high school characters? Completely pointless in anything and everything. Plus this Jacob Black keeps popping up now and again like he's going to play a bigger part. but I have no clue from just reading this book alone. Wink, wink. If you're wondering why I haven't talked about how Mayer completely ruined the vampire mythos, well, really you should check out Maven of the Eventide's video where she talks about the 10 good things about Twilight. It was the video that finally got me to just read the damn book, and anything I would say would be ripping off from her. All I will say is, while it's different from what we know as vampires, it isn't all bad. I get where a lot of the hate comes from. Believe me, I was on the bandwagon for a while, and it's not that hard to find so many different sources of why Twilight is honestly a bad book. Hell, most of the book is nothing but the two characters talking about how they love each other so much, and then out of nowhere, boom, shoehorn conflict that we don't even get a proper climax to, with a fight scene between vampires. A whole lot of build-up for a whole lot of nothing. But that doesn't mean I can't enjoy it for what it is. Believe me, this isn't the worst one if the many, many knockoffs haven't shown us. From werewolves, ghosts, angels, demons, aliens, and Cthulhu? Someone wrote a Twilight with Cthulhu. Next thing you will tell me there is a 50 Shades of Green out there too. And on terms of how disturbing it is that a high schooler wishes to date a 100-year-old vampire, it doesn't come close to others, like a V.C. Andrews book. Remind me to do something of hers in the future. Twilight is escapist romance down to a T. That's why I love it so much, because it's just at the end of the day, a bad romance novel that got really popular. Seriously, have you guys ever read a Harley Quinn book? Not that different. I like Twilight. I like how bad it is, and the enjoyment I get out of it. It's so bad to me, it's good. I haven't read any of the other ones yet, but I can't wait to see how bad it will get. Just a bad romance novel. Nothing more, nothing less. What about you, Internet? What's your opinion? Next week brings October, and I think we should get into the Halloween spirit with a horror month. But what to review? Something crazy. And something stupid. Till next time. Have a nice day.